All right, guys, welcome to the SEO call. Today, we're going to be talking about the Google Business Profile GMB, GBP optimization. We're going to hit every slot on there. Hopefully, this helps out to optimize your Google Business Profile even further. One of the things that I want to make clear is that what we're going to talk about today, anybody can take advantage of this, even if you're a foundations, accelerator, or dominator. There's certain things that we do at the accelerator and dominator level that there's more that you can do, and you'll kind of see as we go through every step. So everybody at every level can actually take advantage of this. So definitely pay attention, take notes, and we'll go from there. And we'll kind of, I will answer some questions in the middle of this if there's some things come up that are worth kind of answering on the spot. But if not, we can always come back. So I'll try to kind of knock this out in about 30 minutes or so, because I have a feeling we'll be able to, there's going to be specific questions and situations for each of you guys. So that way we have time to talk about those. All right. So what we're going to do first, I want to give a quick shout out and congratulations. They are not on here, but I'm going to use them as an example, is Onyx Homes. Kim and Gene over there are doing really good. They're on one of our higher level packages, and now they've been with us for a while at the foundation. So I wanted to use them as an example because they've been with us for a while on the foundations. Then they upgraded, and we really started kind of working on those behind the scenes SEO tasks, link building, citations, posting on the GMB, and all the different signals off of the PRs that we're running for them. So all that together created a big omnipresence for them, basically a digital footprint out there for Google to really recognize what this brand is all about, the keywords we're trying to rank for, and boom, we got over that wall. Now we kind of moved that big flywheel that was moving really slow for them. Now it's starting to kind of gain momentum. So it's really, really exciting to kind of see as the upcoming months come. I'm going to be reporting a little more. And for some of you guys that are in those packages as well, I know Sal and Chris, your campaign is actually getting to that point. So we're going to be excited to kind of also share your stuff as we create more trainings around this. All right. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. And here we go. So this is the company we're going to be using as an example for today, Onyx Homes. So Onyx Homes is based out of Chicago, though Chicago is their main hub in regards to their target audience, right? Who they're kind of trying to reach. And we're going to go to the locations just so you guys have an idea. There's a couple things that are really going to matter here that affects everybody. And I'm glad kind of certain things were happening on their GMB because I'm able to use them as examples. So you have them here. These are the 6 city locations that they have. Keep in mind, guys, if you're with us at the foundation level, you get 6 city pages. If you're at the accelerator dominator level, we're able to work with you guys a little more in regards to every month. Maybe we add a location, and we don't know if there's other areas you guys want to target. Our campaigns are all focused around these 6. But once we hit, I usually recommend that we keep a campaign to about 3 to 4 months before moving our efforts to other locations, right? And even adding more locations. But just know that, because that is one thing maybe we weren't clear enough that I want you guys to know. When you're at those upper level packages, it is recommended that you start thinking about more locations. That way we can start adding those every month. And it's not a whole lot, right? You don't want to go and bombard them with like 20 different small little towns. That's not the point. If you're doing business in a certain city that's not on here and you would really like to have it, and you would really like for us to focus on something like that in the future, then definitely we want that on there. So right here, Chicago is their main kind of area that they target. The actual city metropolitan area has a lot of traffic. They're doing a lot of business around that area. But what I do want to point out is that they're based out of Buffalo Grove, if I'm correct. Now we'll look at their profile so you guys can kind of see. And that's a city a little bit north of downtown Chicago, right? And we're going to see how that affects your Google Business Profile rankings and what we're going to do to fix that. Okay. So the first thing first, if you don't know how to log in to your business profile, just go to google.com/business. You'll go to this page. You'll click this button here, Manage Now. And I'm assuming at that point you would be logged in to your browser or your Gmail that is managing that account. Because if you are, then you would land on something that looks like this. So it redirects you to your actual profile, okay, your dashboard. And here on the top left, you'll see the company name, and then you'll see the address. So this is what I was talking about. Even though Kim and Jean focus and Onyx Homes focuses in Chicago, their address doesn't say Chicago, Illinois, right? It doesn't say the actual city. It says Buffalo Grove. That matters because now we need to see, you know, the geolocation, how far that is from Chicago, because if they're really wanting to do a lot of business in the Chicago area, downtown, or you know, the vicinity of it, Buffalo Grove might be too far. So when someone's searching, we buy houses in Chicago, or, you know, cash buyers in Chicago, they might appear in the organic rankings because we have a city page, right? Their Chicago page might appear in the organic rankings, but we might not be able to get them into the map pack because according to Google, it is proximity based. So if it's too far, and I can't really give you how far that is because it all depends on how much competition there is there. The whole point of the Google business profiles for somebody to be on their phone, maybe, you know, standing in a certain location, typing in, you know, a keyword, and Google giving them the closest person to them or the closest business, right? So if there's not a lot of businesses that have a profile in your area, it'll show them, even though you might be a little far. If there's no competition, you get that spot. So right now with Kim and Jean, we're actually experimenting that. We believe that they are a little far, but it's close enough. So we have to wait another month or two to really see how Google treats our profile. And you'll kind of see what I mean here in a little bit. But the first things that I want to do is hit on those points before we start kind of optimizing the actual profile. Okay. So the first thing is I'm going to do a search. So what I've done here, I already changed. You guys kind of familiar with this. I have a little app on my browser, change my geolocation, push Chicago, and then I go to the bottom just to make sure I am in the Chicago market. Boom. So my browser thinks I'm in Chicago, not Maryland. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and type in "we buy houses." It's one of their main keywords. We all kind of know that, but there's so many more that they rank for. But I'm going to use this as an example. We scroll down. These are ads. We kind of, if you didn't know that, everything that has a little icon here is an ad. That's not where we're playing. We're playing in the map pack right here. Call it the 3-pack, map pack, Google pack. It's all the same thing. But Google usually only gives you 3 results. This is the goal. We need to get into those 3 results because very, very few people know to even click on the more businesses. So this is very crucial that we need to get in here. You can see Onyx Homes is not here. And when you look at the map, Buffalo Grove is somewhere up here. Okay. So according to Google, when it's searching for locations within Chicago, if anybody was searching there, it's not identifying Buffalo Grove as a place, right? Or not a place, but like that it fits within a search for Chicago. So our experiment right now is we want to build more authority for Onyx Homes through backlinks, through citations, through posts, right? More authority within their digital footprint to see if Google then says, hey, this is a strong enough profile, a very authoritative business. So we're going to like broaden our horizons when it comes to this map. So that way, when someone does a Chicago search, they will appear. Now, let me show you what's happening here. I'm going to go ahead and stop Mickey, just because I think this is important. If there's a question here, something that makes sense.
Yes, as you're showing the map like this, so initially I thought that you just needed to be inside of the city, but that's not what you're saying.
Correct. So in regards to Google, every market is because that's the trick here, right? Mm-hmm. You won't know till you start playing in here. So for you guys are in Baltimore. I don't remember exactly what the Google business profile address is, but is it a Baltimore address?
No, it wasn't, but I was going to change it to a Baltimore address. And so should I just first go and look where Google is already?
Yes. Can you write that one down? That's an entire, I want to talk about that, but that's going to be a little deeper. I don't want to kind of veer off. That's actually one that I need to talk about. So bring that back. And this is how you're going to position this, Mickey, when we talk about it here, when I'm done, is it correct for me to change my address from a nearby city to an actual Baltimore, right? The actual city I want to move to, and what are the risks? That's the question. They'll bring that back to me because that's an important one I want to cover. All right. So we're going to keep going. So now you guys kind of get that. that it's not up to us. It's up to Google who they're going to, how far they're going to open up that map and show the pins, right? So if you have, like I said, if we build that authority, and I've seen it a lot more in other cities. So that's why I'm thinking if we can build that authority for Onyx Homes, that it will broaden that map and allow Onyx Homes to actually appear, because they're going to say, hey, they're strong enough to be in the 3-pack here because they bring a lot of value. So that means we got to open up our map even further to show, right? So that's kind of where we're at there. But check this out. It's a Chicago keyword. And if you scroll down, and we were talking about Onyx Homes, that's why I want to show it. This has been a work in progress. They don't rank. This is our main goal for their organic, to rank right here. Currently, it's been very difficult, but they're right there. They're in position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position 5. Next month, they're going to make another move. I don't know how high they're going to go, but we're going to continue to hit that, right? But not only that, we already have that kind of on autopilot to keep moving up. Our next step is to start figuring out how to get them in here. But I'm going to show you what is happening, and I'm going to show you that what we're doing is already working, regardless if we're not appearing here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to take Buffalo Grove. I'm going to search, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to go ahead and run it, Illinois. And let's see here, random search. Look at that. Number 1 for the actual location, right? Why are they ranking number 1? Our efforts, number 1. Number 2 is that their address. Google is identifying them as someone that lives or does business, has their office in Buffalo Grove. So now the trick here for us, and the benefit of an accelerator dominator kind of level thing, we have to experiment. We don't know the answer. We can get you to a certain point, then we need to start tweaking to try to get you in there. It could come to the point where we go to Onyx Homes and we say, you know what, Kim and Gene, we're probably going to have to create a Google business profile closer to Chicago if you really want to rank there. And we can get you in the map pack, but Google's not willing to open up. Google's, according to what we've seen, it's too far away from the Chicago market, right? You guys are all in another area, according to them. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if you guys, that makes sense. Yep, awesome. All right, so that right there, and even that, one thing I want to point out that was something we found, I already have it with my team, is they are ranking in the map pack, Buffalo Grove, but look at this. Somebody speak up. Do you see something weird here in the locations?
There's no Buffalo Grove.
It's not there.
So we need a Buffalo Grove. Why? Because they are dominating in the map pack, but yet they don't exist in the organics, right? Now, I'm not going to say they don't exist, because they do. What did Google do to still kind of say, well, you guys are located in Buffalo Grove, right? So you must have something. So we're going to put you somewhere. They're actually on page 3. But what's on page 3? Where is that? Where are they at? They're on page 3 somewhere, page 2. Anyway, they're in here somewhere. Point being, it's their homepage that's being kind of associated with this brand. There they are. So they're on, towards the top of page 2, but that's not the point. Our team needs to now optimize their campaign, add a Buffalo Grove, and we will be able to now own those positions on the Google Maps and the organics. So that's huge for a company, right? So that's basically kind of keywords, the rankings, and a little bit about the maps, how they all work. So I think all of you guys should go back, reevaluate kind of like what your address is, right? Go back to Google business profile, look at your address, look at the location, and then compare it to the locations that exist. Because maybe, and I don't know, it's like Jordan, Charleston, West Virginia, right? I know we have a Charleston, West Virginia city page. I can't remember what address you guys have on your Google business. It could be some other city that's farther, right? So that's something to kind of think about, make sure everything's aligned. Okay.
Luckily for us, it's South Charleston, but it seems like if I Google search "we buy houses Charleston, West Virginia," it pops my South Charleston page up first, which is kind of strange, but yeah, they both have the name Charleston in it. So
gotcha. And those things can be tweaked too. And we've kind of talked about jumping on a call to see how we can control, because there's ways to control the rankings once you have that authority. So, but that's a kind of a conversation for another day, but definitely something we should have. So now what we're going to do, now that you guys kind of understand a little bit about this does work, why is this important? One of the things that I'm going to show you here, I want to show you one that's I'm working with right now. That's very, very exciting. Let's see here. I'm going to open it up. Let me see here. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to show you some stats on what can potentially happen. And I have it on my other screen. I'm going to bring it over.
In the meantime, while you do that, I noticed Eric has a raise hand. I don't know. Do you have any question, Eric?
Oh, go for it. Yeah. While I do
We
this.
don't have a set address. You have more of a region. Because since we got a US or UPS box with the suite so-and-so, it has a region of Charleston, South Carolina. So how's that going to affect also?
Yeah. So Eric, so if I'm understanding correctly, so you got a Google business profile that's basically geared towards a region, right? So you probably put in an address, you verified, right? So your verified profile, but in the profile, in reality, the address that you put on there is hidden, and you put like maybe five cities, and what it gives you is a region. Is that correct? Because a lot of times when you do that, it basically puts like a literally a circle or whatever shape to kind of show that you do business within those things. So how does that affect? It actually, it goes back to how the competition, because if Google doesn't have, it's going to prioritize physical addresses. It always does, right? Because we go back to the proximity conversation. It's all based off of someone being on a phone and they're in a certain location or in a computer, and it reads the IP and Google trying to give them the closest person. So if you're in a region, it's going to depend on how many people have a region-based profile or a physical location-based profile. And in our business, and basically real estate investing, a lot of your competition actually has a region-based profile. And that's why we push to try to get a physical address, because you're going to outrank people if you have a physical address a lot faster. Even though they might have a lot of authority, it's going to prioritize a physical address. But Eric, not to worry, because I can already tell you the majority of your competition does have a region, right? So you can still rank well. So that's the other thing is, if you do have a region, you do have to do a little bit more work. Your footprint has to be heavier than the competition that might have a physical address. Because they have a physical address, they're not doing posts, they're not doing reviews, they're not doing a lot of work, but yet you have a region and you're within their region and you're doing a lot of, getting reviews, doing posts, very active, in other words, on it, on your profile. You can outrank them. We've seen it. So that does work. That makes sense? Good. All right, guys. So one of the things that I want to kind of show you when you do have a very optimized profile, this is what we would love to see. It's like we want to see a ton of searches. We want to see where is it at? Calls is going to be the biggest one. So we're going to be looking at a lot of this as we teach you how to optimize your profiles. And why do you tend to get more calls once you get in here? Because look at the setup of the results. Someone's going to type in whatever keyword, they're going to get the ads, and the next thing they get is the map pack. So when you hit the map pack here, a lot of the times you're kind of looking at the company. All you want is like, all right, I'm interested, see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and call. So a lot of people tend, and because the next step, instead of calling, they would have to hit the website. They go to the website and then they opt in. That's a lot of steps. So after the profile, in most cases, they're going to call you directly. So those are the ones that I'm going to be asking a lot of questions in regards to the calls, right? So this guy is just killing it. So it's doing really, really good. But what we're going to do is, how can we help a company? Most of us are in the position where we need to optimize. We need to get into the map pack, right? I want to kind of be realistic. That's where most of us are. We need to get in there. How do we do that? So first things first, if you're here, I want you guys to go to info, and we're just going to go one by one on the section, because there are some tips that I want to give as we go in here. So number one, make sure that your company name is correct. Believe it or not, I've had people that have misspelt company names. Completely defeats the purpose. You need consistent information on all your citations, basically everywhere where you cite your company, to be as consistent as possible. Okay. So even if you, in some places you have Onyx Homes and in other places you have Onyx Homes LLC, that's fine. That's still kind of pretty close. But if it was spelt wrong, Onyx Homes Properties or, Solutions, that's a completely different name and it won't associate these assets together. The next thing is your categories right here. So you can see Onyx Homes has multiple categories. You can have multiple categories. Now, how do you pick your categories? What I would recommend is for you guys to do a search, something like this, and then look at your top competition and see what they're using. Okay. Now, Onyx Homes is in one of our higher level positions. So you might say, well, why doesn't Onyx Home have something like this guy? We are moving stuff. That's another benefit. We're experimenting and changing certain things that it depends on the market. But for you guys that might be doing it on your own, the easiest and safest way is to do this. Look at your competition. You might, I know I have the actual company here, but you're going to look at your main keyword. You're going to get a map pack and you might not appear on there because you're still working yourself up. You're going to look at the top ranking ones. You're going to make a list of what their categories are. And I would probably score them. How many people have this category? How many people have that? And probably use the top 1 or 2 categories for your category section. All right. So that's how you're going to pick your category. So that's very, very important. Next one is the address. So the address is another crucial one. It has to be correct. So maybe, and a good example here is maybe you changed addresses, right? So if you changed addresses, then change it. Now, if you're using a virtual address somewhere, right? It's like that virtual address and you're located somewhere else, then don't change it. I'm talking about legit kind of offices that you moved your office and you want people to know that you're over here, then change that, right? Because if you're now, and what I mean by that, why it's important is because you might be creating other citations out there, other profiles, things like that, and using the new address. So that might be, the time to change it here as well. So everything's a little more consistent. Okay. Next one, service areas. So this one, regardless if you have a physical location or not, I want you guys to fill this out. Like Eric was saying, he currently has one where it's just region. All of you guys should have multiple cities in here, at least the 6 that you have on your website, at least. If not, and then you can start working yourself out. You can actually go to the map here, look at the area where you work and look at all these cities that are around there, right? And think about what your radius is that you want to work within. I would recommend something like maybe 20 miles like that. Make a list and pick the most important ones and add them to your profile here. Okay. That way Google kind of knows what your region is, that you're willing to cover. Now, I do want to stress that some of you guys actually do business in multiple states. Google profile is based off of one region. Okay. So if you're doing business in Chicago, but you also do business in Florida, do not put your Florida locations in here. You want to keep it very consistent to the region. That if you're in Florida, then you're going to have to create a Florida-based Google business profile. All right. Hours of operation right here. So the hours, make sure you have something. Some of you might say, I'm open 24 hours. There's an option to put 24 hours. Point being, fill it out. Okay. And where it says more, don't worry about this. For us, it doesn't really apply to real estate investors unless it does. If you, a lot of times you can actually put special hours for holidays or certain services, things like that. You can get very granular with the type of hours, but I usually kind of skip that. I'd rather have you guys fill this out here. And then special dates, if there's any type of special dates with special hours, then you have that here as well. Okay. So here, and then phone number. Phone numbers are good. You can see that we have 2 phone numbers here. Make sure that at least you have the phone number that lives on your website. Again, I've seen it where it's not consistent. You need it to be consistent. So this is kind of like definitely kind of add this if there's a handle that you're using for like social media, things like that, you can actually add it in here as well. The link. This one I was going to change before the call. I decided not to because I want to point something out that's very important. Again, consistency is crucial. Is this harming their profile or anything like that? Not at this point. not actually almost not at all, but it's more consistency. I want you to kind of pay attention to here. We have www right here, but yet in their URL, we're using the non-www version as the primary. They still appear when you type in www, but what we're going to be doing, just because we're doing their accelerated level campaign, we're going to be changing that to just match exactly to their main URL. Okay. So if you see that, that's a simple one for you guys to see. One, I see a lot that you do have to change. There is no exception when you miss the S, this S right here. That is when you have the SSL certificate. It's an encrypted kind of little code when you add that, and you need that. For Chrome browsers, you actually get a red page that actually makes your website not even appear. So you definitely want that to be the correct one here. Best way to do, just go to your website, go to the homepage, copy it directly from the address bar at the top. That's what I would recommend. All right. Appointment links. A lot of us don't have an appointment link in there. If anything, put your contact page. Put something in there. A lot of you guys have it blank. Put it in there. Another option, and this is an optimized option, up to you. I was talking to somebody earlier, one of our clients earlier. I gave him this idea and he's going to move forward with it. He uses Calendly. So I told him to send us the embed code for Calendly. We're going to create a page on his website that's domain.com/appointment. And we're just going to embed the Calendly calendar on there. And we're going to use that as a link here. So that way Google at least knows there's something there. Okay. Products. This is a good one that none of us probably have filled out, but I'm going to give you some tips. This is where the tips come in, something that you guys can do. So products, real estate investors, what's our product? We really don't, we have more services and products, but think about this one a little further. You can have a free lead magnet. Some of you guys have been working on lead magnets. Some of you guys even have small little free courses, right? I know, Mickey, you guys have lead magnets. Terry, you have lead magnets. And then Liz and Marie actually have a funnel, a process funnel, right? So you can actually use that as a product. Jordan, something that's outside the box, you do a credit, right? What if we add some type of credit page, right? Within real estate investing, some people need some help with credit. Maybe we use that as a product. Point being, right? Fill this out. Let me click on there and walk you guys through how this would look. So we're going to click on here. Say we're going to create a product here for Onyx Homes. Get started. Say it was a lead magnet, something that's that we're giving away for free, right? We would take an image, right? A picture of the book or whatever they want to put, brand it. We upload that here. Product name. We create it's a course or whatever you want to call it. If it's a lead magnet, then it's a digital asset. So it's going to be like a book, an ebook, right? You can add a category to it. So whatever you guys want to create as a category, I probably put ebook. And then product price, you can just put free. Description. This is your opportunity for keywords. This is where you can write something. It's like, hey, this is a foreclosure, how to save your house, whatever. And you start kind of filling in the description. We've talked about this numerous times, how you can kind of fill it in, but you can naturally create a description with some keywords in it. And then the button. This is where you create your additional backlinks. So check this out. It gives you an option to create a button. This button, you can add a link. Okay. This is a free backlink from your profile. Easy. So you hit the learn more or get an offer, whatever you want to put. I would recommend if it's a lead magnet, and we redirect it to the page where you're offering that. And if it doesn't exist on your website, let's create it. If I remember correctly, someone like Terry on Ignite, his website, he has certain pages, landing pages for it. So Terry, you would actually use this, Terry and Eric, actually, you would actually use this and redirect it to one of those pages that has that lead magnet on it. Now you just created a backlink there, a little bit of power. So hopefully that helps out. That's an area a lot of us are not taking advantage of. Go ahead and keep going here. Products, services. So most of you guys do enter your services. Good job. If you look at the list here, we've kind of optimized this a little further. If you guys want to check that out, you can see that there's all kinds of stuff that might not make sense to you guys, but it does because it falls under what a real estate investor does, whether it be in the sales process, in the setup process, and that whole thing. So we kind of try to think outside the box, but you can also add, let me go ahead and edit the services here. And for example, home staging, just I'm going to open up just a random one here. So this is, you could just leave it alone and do nothing, or you can take advantage of these little spots to add more keywords. So you open it up, price, and do free, right? Now, home staging, do you offer that as a service? If you're going to sell the property, if it, whatever it might be, you can just leave it alone too, right? It's a little more, it depends on what you, how you guys operate. Point being, description is probably the most important piece in the takeaway here. That one right there, you have an opportunity to write a short description of that service and plug in a couple keywords, whatever that might be. That just helps control the conversation. You save and you're good to go. So on Onyx Homes here, investment property buying, did a little bit of that. Look at that, bam. And then we add a little bit of information. Okay, awesome, right there. That's going to be a good tip for you guys to add more value. So let me keep going here. So that's the services, and look how many. I mean, she could literally go and hit, Kim and Jean can literally hit every single one of them and figure out, you know, just a way to kind of really optimize this very fine tune it with almost every keyword they want to rank for. We'll scroll down. So here from the business, you can actually set up different identify as situations, like they identify as Black owned, women owned. We actually have, since we have Sean on our team, we do veteran owned. A lot of you guys are veterans. Get that right there. You can put it on there as a veteran owned company here. Let me see here. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead and unmute.
Are you talking to me?
Eric Moyer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you get, okay. Sorry about that.
That was from earlier. Let me turn that off.
Yeah, I asked the same question. I thought you had another
No worries.
question.
All right, so we'll keep going here. And then the business description. Now I am gonna poke at this a little bit. So just being up, this is this one right here. It's a good description, but if you guys read through it, you guys might find some familiar situations, right? A lot of us have this one. So what I would do is look at your description, and maybe it's time to refresh it. Maybe it's time to think about it more of our story as the company. What is our story? I know Isa and Mickey do a really great job kind of showing the whole family and kind of the different families that are involved. That tell the story, right? And what you guys do. Obviously, you always want to be talking about your services, how you help other people and everything, but there is an opportunity here to really kind of optimize it to you guys too. So that way, at the end of the day, we're going to do all this technical stuff to get you into the map pack, but at the end of the day, it's human to human. So you got to be able to have, when they read through all this, they need to relate to you guys to be able to convert, right? And start kind of building that know, like, and trust factors. Okay. Another part that I see open or empty a lot is when you open. We use those for citations. And the reason I'm going granular right now on this is because we're using this to create other assets on the internet that are going to help. And if a lot of this stuff is not filled out, it's very diluted information. So the more information we have here that you guys fill out as the business owners, the more information we have when we're running campaigns for you. So that's why this was important for us to have this conversation and this lesson. So even the accelerator dominator clients that are in here can take advantage of this, because you might make some tweaks that we'll be able to take advantage for our campaigns for you. Okay. And then the last one we have here is photos. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. All right. So let's break these down a bit. So right here, again, I'm going to use Kim and Jean. They're good sports. So if they watch this, I'm not picking at them. I'm just giving them tips, right? So Kim and Jean here do a great job. They have a cover photo. You need a cover photo. If you don't have one, you have to upload one. And then your logo, okay? And all these other photos are all kind of uploaded through posts that we're doing, things like that. But what I want to do is kind of show you guys what this looks like. We're going to go to the home section here. I'm going to actually look at their profile on the actual search. We're going to click on here. Look at their cover photo on search. Search means on the sidebar right here, right? Someone does a search and they appear on the sidebar. So that's it. And then the other search that someone can find you on is in the maps. So view on maps. So we click it, and then it's like they have the map, and then they have this. Look at here. So here's the tip, guys. This is a great photo. They have, if I'm remembering correctly, I've only been to Chicago one time, but I believe that's Chicago right there. Yeah. I would recommend that you guys put your logo somewhere on there. Colors, overlay, have some fun with it, right? Because if someone lands here, I want to see kind of like the owners, and I want to see the logo. I want to see some colors. So it's a little more kind of related to what the business is all about. Okay, that's the only tip. Just those cover photos are huge. All right, so that's what we have on there. And then how important are photos, and why I'm going to start pushing more and more on photos is because Onyx Homes just got over that big kind of like they've been stuck on like page 3, page 2. Now they're moving in. This past month, they moved in to page 1, and now in the Google Pack and everything, they're starting to gain some momentum. They're starting to gain a lot of momentum, actually. So once they got over that hump, that kind of like page 2 and getting into page 1, they started really, really kind of gaining momentum. And what I saw here is in search, they're last month they got 949 pretty much views. In the maps, 286. That's probably going to go up as they get more keywords that they're ranking for. But the more important, I guess, the more important one that I would kind of look at and see, they were doing 0. They got a call from it. Like I said, they just got over the hump. This next month, we're going to see these calls go up. I mean, people are now starting to find them. But where is it at? Phone calls, photos. Here we go. This is what I want to kind of show you guys to make a point. Look at this. These are the photo views. So they got 1.64K, so 1,064. I think that's what. So they got a ton, basically, of views on their photos through search, right? Compared to their competition, this is businesses like them get an average of about 374. So that means their footprint, again, their digital footprint when it comes to photos is massively more than the average business. Okay. So right now for them, we're doing a lot of posts on Google Posts and we're adding a photo, right? So it could be as easy as you guys, and let's go into photos so we can kind of look at the different types. So these are all the different photos that are happening. A lot of these are from posts, right? So you can see the views. Everybody's getting the views. Anybody that kind of looks at your post, you get views. That is branding. Remember what Sean talks about with the Coca-Cola example is like, where do you see them? Everywhere. See them everywhere. So this is the point to the photos. We want to make sure that our photos are being viewed. And if you're putting up a photo, might as well put a logo on it, slap a logo on it so it's branded to you. Okay. So the other thing is from the owners is basically all the different photos, but this right here kind of breaks it down. Customers might upload a photo when they leave you a review. I would encourage you guys to have your customers that leave you reviews actually, if they have a photo, maybe they sold you a house, maybe they bought a house from you, maybe you're helping them renovate something in their house, whatever it might be. You know, if they upload something within the reviews, that makes your review even more powerful. I know I kind of push a lot on a keyword or something in the reviews, but even photos are there. The 360, that's just kind of a video that's kind of showing everything. That's what the client looks like they uploaded. Videos. I don't see any videos here for Kim and Jean. So guess what I'm going to be pushing on for the month of April? For them to upload video in their GMB. So these are short videos. Who does this really well? Both actually, I see a lot from Jordan. You guys kind of do a lot of walkthroughs. Mickey does a lot of walkthroughs. So short ones, 1 minute, quick ones, and then just upload them. Something that has to do with the business. And then what Google does, it identifies for here interior, exterior. It's identifying anything that's for interior, basically photos that look like they're in interior and exterior here. So it kind of like categorizes everything, but photos are major. Those are going to be a big branding digital footprint for you guys that I think everybody should be working towards. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead. We're running short on time. So I'm going to go ahead and click home here. I'm going to hit here because this is kind of where the beginning is. And I'm going to go open it up for questions. And I'm happy to click on any of these areas that you might have a question on. And you can just unmute and ask. No questions?
Roger.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sal.
Oh, okay, Roger. I'm looking at my insights and, you know, it's not not real pretty, but how quickly does this stuff respond when you, like, let's say you put more videos and more photos in the Google My Business stuff, does it respond fairly quickly?
Fairly quickly. Yes, fairly quick. Once you start loading it up, and it all kind of comes back to the market and the amount of people that are in that space that are doing this. So if the competition is low, it's almost like an instant. As soon as you start kind of putting in, I think it takes about 10 days for it to kind of get indexed and kind of recognized, and then you see results. If you have a medium competitive market, you're probably gonna, once you start kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting in regards to this optimization, probably like a month and a half. Yeah, about a month and a half is when you see movement. Now, are you gonna be up, like way up there getting a bunch of calls? No, you're going to see the needle move, your rankings move, and it should be something that you're tracking, right? You put in a keyword, you look at yourself in the map, you click more listings. If you remember, I did where can you find this? It was a keyword search. Let me go back. So in most cases, you're not going to be here, Sal. You're going to have to click more businesses, and you look for your listing in here. And keep in mind, when you go here, there's a bunch of competition in this market. You can see right there. And there's sometimes even more pages. Look at that. There are a ton of listings in the Chicago market. So for you, you're in the Houston market. I'm assuming we're going to be dealing with the same situation. But if nobody else, even though there's a lot of competition, if nobody else is doing all this meta work, right? Just this granular work, then we're going to get that that big boost because Google's going to look at us as more authoritative. We're providing more value, in other words.
Got
That
it.
makes
Thank
sense?
you. Yep, thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
I'm just trying to figure out how compatible the app is with uploading photos and videos. Like, take them on your phone. You got to go back to the house, put them on Dropbox, down. You know, you got to do all that stuff. Or is
I actually, Jordan, and I want to challenge everybody on here. Try to do it on your phone, because here, let me bring up this right here. Perfect. See this section here? I'm one of the owners of managing Onyx Homes because they're one of our accelerated clients. I get to see this. This is the new editor that Google came out with. So they want the users to start using this, independent users. So this back end is essentially going to go away eventually. I don't know when. Eventually, it's going to go away for the direct owners. Agencies like us, we're going to have to sign up for a special membership to have access to these dashboards for our clients. But in the future, I would actually challenge you guys just to get you used to it, because eventually that dashboard will go away and you'll have to make your edits here. And they're making it. And the reason I say do it on your phone is because they're working on it right now to make it as user friendly. So you'll see some changes, but might as well start getting used to it. So Jordan, absolutely, man, get used to kind of shooting a video and just testing the app to see if you can upload it right from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I know you can do the photo, but still
And
kind of,
Roger, for the videos, I know it's 1 minute, and that has been challenging for me because it didn't give me like the option of like cutting it on the Google My Business.
Mhm.
So so I had to edit separately the video and then upload it.
Yeah, you have to, most likely you're gonna have to edit separately. Now, when I say the 1 minute, it's just to, some people are just not comfortable, right, with video. It's like you think you have to do a whole explanation. If you do, good, upload that, right? But for those of you that just want to do quick little snippets, a minute long video of just showing what you guys are doing out there is fine. But that's just a rule of thumb, Mickey. So if it's longer or shorter, as long as you have video uploaded, that's related to the business, right? So just kind of so everybody kind of gets that, something that you're at a house, you're kind of, you know, doing some kind of estimates or whatever, then do that. Or doing, you know, repairs.
So is there a maximum number of minutes?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure if Google has, I'm sure they do. I just don't know what that is. And I've seen some pretty long videos on there. I'd have to look that
I
up.
will retry, because I tried for like with a video that was like 3 minutes and a half and it wasn't working. So I'll retry.
Yeah, retry it. If you find out what it is, post it in the group. I'd like to, I'm actually going to look it up as well, but that would be something to share. I'm not really sure what the maximum is. All right. Any other questions, guys?
Well, feedback, I tried removing the www and Google came back and put it back in.
Put back, oh, it won't change it, Eric,
I
till
mean,
it
it did,
gets approved.
then it lined it out.
It lined it out. Because what here, let me because what it's gonna do, it needs to go through a verification process just to kind of review. And it usually takes like 5 minutes or so. Every time you make an edit, it will either line it out or put a grade thing over it while it's getting approved. But on the front end for the user, it won't do anything. It'll look the same till that's been approved. So
Okay,
it's probably
so
if you got a line through it, go ahead.
When you see the line through it, go ahead, because our opening date has a big line through it right now. I'm like,
Did you change it right now or add it?
today, yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is. It's going through an approval process.
okay.
So what you want to do is definitely reach out to us, support@topresultsconsulting.com. If you still see that in the next 48 hours, if it's still there, we probably kind of need to troubleshoot it with you. But that should go away literally by the end of the day. It shouldn't be there. It should be approved, in other words. Any other questions?
The video thing within the app is a little bit touchy. I just want to let y'all
Is
know
it?
that. It's
And-
like more like a Snapchat style where you have to like, or Instagram, you gotta like hold it down and, you know, I want to walk through, but maybe, I don't know. I'm still messing with it, but I don't
Play
like
with it. No, and for everybody, just know that Google's actually currently working on improving that thing. So it's going to probably be crappy here right now. And it will improve with months, but they are pushing towards getting people to do what you're doing, Jordan. Get them on the phone, do exactly what you're doing, and upload and keep everything up to date. There's a lot of people on the other side of the fence that say this is a huge, major, not a good thing for Google to be doing. They're going to lose a lot of people that are going to be using Google Business Profiles because of this, which I got to look at the positive side. That's good for you guys. That's competition.
Yeah, serious.
The other thing is I do have about 4 minutes left. I want to kind of touch on a couple things for you guys around GMB, some news, and I did miss a big tip that I want to kind of put out there is your posts. So let me click on here. I'm still sharing. I'm going to click on create post here. And there are different types of posts, guys, that you guys can create, right? So you guys probably, we've talked about these before as well, but you can create an offer. You can create what's new is basically the more popular one that most of us are going to do because what's new in our business, right? What's going on? Events, not used at all by most of us. Products, obviously not used at all. So let me give you some tips on these. Products, if you create the ebook, you should be making a post on the ebook once a month to promote it, right? It's an easy way to kind of create a post to just promote it, just a way. If you have a product on your Google Business Profile and it has a funnel that redirects to the homepage, well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing a post once a month that's promoting it one way or another, right? Events. This is huge. If there is a local event and you're going to be attending that local event, you might want to take a picture of it, slap your logo on it. Maybe you went, you know, they have festivals here in DC where I'm at, you know, coming up in the spring. If I was doing business in the DC market, I'd probably go and do the cherry blossoms, you know, next to the, you know, over there, take a picture, put my logo on there and actually do an event. Hey, this is happening. They had the kite cherry blossom festival last week. I think it was, that would have been a good one for me to promote on here because I'm a DC based company. And it's okay for me to do that. So take that as a tip because that's just another reason that we wouldn't do that as your accelerator dominator agency, right? Because we're focused on your keywords and all this. You can actually add these events, which will help our campaign. What's new? Anything, any update, any changes? Jordan, you've been sharing a lot of wins lately, and that's huge. I mean, that's something that you guys might want to kind of post on as well. Offer. Again, we go back to the product, right? You got to get creative, think outside the box. If you can think of a way where you're going to say, hey, I'm going to give this for free, or, you know, I don't know. It's like we got to really brainstorm around this, but some way to use it. Now, am I forcing you guys to kind of saying you have to do all these? No, I'm just giving you tips. This is a tips type of training. And this is, I want you guys to be aware that these things are available. And there's ways for real estate investors to also use all of these options here. Okay, let's see here. And then the final thing I want to touch on is a big kind of news around the Google business profile and Google, how it's treating these profiles and what we're seeing. There is a trend that unfortunately, some of you guys might get suspended. It's the reality of things that are happening right now. Why? So what Google's doing right now is trying to get rid of all those fake profiles that are out there, trying to identify them and basically suspend them to start clearing out and only have real companies. If you guys didn't know, there are a lot of marketers out there that have hundreds of profiles, fake ones, and they basically generate leads and they sell them to you, or sell them to their clients. And that Google doesn't want. That's not the purpose of a business profile. So what they're trying to do is identify all those, and their algorithm is hitting different things. If you change your address, you're automatically going to get suspended, and you're going to have to re-verify. If you change, and I don't know how deep this is going, because in the past we didn't deal with this. So it could be that some of you might change your phone number and you might be asked to re-verify. Check. If you change anything the next day, go in and check if you kind of are being asked to re-verify or do something like that. One of our own, from the TRC family actually went an entire month without even knowing that had happened. And we're actually, he's on our dominator level, and we're doing all the work, and we're like, why isn't this moving? And we realized that one little change that they made basically required them to re-verify. So what are you potentially going to get hit with the re-verification? It could be as simple as clicking a button. Number two, one would be that they're going to resend the postcard. Another one could be that Google's going to actually call you directly and have a conversation with you. And then the last one is the hardest one. And mostly a lot of you guys that will get this is because maybe you did a lot of things that really kind of questioned if you were a real business, is they're going to require you to do a video of your office and the inside and outside. So just want to kind of get in front of that so you guys are aware in case you do get hit with this. Don't get nervous. We're already kind of doing research and what other people are doing, but this is pretty new. And I think, again, it's a good thing. Why? Because we're going to see thousands of Google business profiles just literally disappear from one day to another. Again, we are in an industry that does this quite a bit. There are marketers do this, which means we're going to see the market just level up with our marketing. So it's going to be real companies against real companies competing to see who has the better marketing out there. Okay. Any questions on that? Nope. All right, guys. So if there's no more, go for it, Mickey. Yep.
It's my question from earlier. So
yes, go ahead.
Just what you said now, doesn't mean that I shouldn't change the address and just maybe wait?
I would no, because it's just going to get harder, Mickey. Again, I unfortunately, I don't want to discourage you guys from doing the right thing in regards to changing the address if it makes sense. It makes sense for the marketing, right?
Yes.
Because if it does, what's the point of keeping the address that's too far away from us going to the main area, right? Where we can really kind of, because yeah, I can rank you like Kim and Jean. I can rank them in Buffalo Grove, but if they're not doing business there or they're not interested in doing business there, what's the point of me getting leads there? They want to be in Chicago. I need to figure out how to get them in Chicago, even if it means getting them another GMB closer to Chicago. For you guys, I know you guys do a lot in Baltimore. I want a Baltimore-based address, and if you have it, take advantage of it. And if you get suspended, you're a real company, so you shouldn't be scared. You should be open to be able to have a conversation with Google and go through the process of re-verifying and get yourself in the right place.
Okay. And then if I optimize everything that you said today, will that give me a suspension as well?
That I can't answer because most of those don't give you a suspension at all. You might see what Eric Moyer saw. Basically, what you're going to see is maybe like a line across your phone number or whatever section you made. And like, I think, Eric, I think you said you updated the when you opened your business, you might see that. All that's happening is going
that,
through
the website process. And some other things. I went back and suddenly I saw all these line throughs. I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm. So all that is going through a verification process and updating. Okay. One thing, maybe a tip that I can give you guys is, and Eric, too late to give this 50, but do maybe 1 or 2 things at a time, right? And as things kind of like update, and that's just the major one. So you can test things. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, I don't see if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Might as well change everything and then come back. And if you do get suspended, go through that process. They do have a really easy link. So say you do get suspended in your real company, they make it real easy for you to kind of submit a request to reinstate.
Okay, thank you, Roger.
Good. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here.